We're going to start by coming over here to create, and I'm going to click on document. We're going to type in link, and I'm going to hit create. Now I'm going to click on top, and I'm going to click on sketch, and I'm going to come over here and rotate to the top plane, and I'm going to click on line, and I'm going to make a line. I'm going to click on this line and click on the origin. We're going to come over here and click on midpoint. That'll set that line right on the midpoint. And I'm going to come over here to slot, this slot command, and now click on that line we made. It says 20 right here. We're just going to leave it as is. You can make it 20 millimeters, hit OK. And now we're going to come over here to extrude, and we're going to click on that slot, and we're going to click on symmetric, and I can rotate. We're creating the solid, so I'm going to hit OK. Click on the sketch one, right click, hit edit, and we're going to come over here to center point circle. We're going to edit this original sketch. Let me drag out 2 circles. And I'm going to click on that line that we originally made, and I'm going to make it construction. So now it's a construction line. And for these 2 circles, I'm going to shift click to select both of them, hit equal. That'll set them equal to each other. We're also going to set a dimension on them. So click on dimension and make this 15. And we could set a dimension on the slot as well. So I'm going to come over here, dimension, click on the line, drag it up. We're going to make it 40, and we're going to hit OK. I'm going to come here to the bottom and right click, and I'm going to click on duplicate. And now I'm going to come to our duplicated file, and I'm going to edit the original extrude. Right click, edit. And if I zoom in, I'm going to add to the selection this circle and this circle. And I'm going to hit OK. And then I'm going to show sketch 1, and I will hide extrude 1 by suppressing it. And now we're going to come over here to extrude. I'm going to click on these 2 circles. We're going to set the depth to 75. And I'm going to click symmetric and hit OK. And now we'll right click on extrude 1, unsuppress, and that will leave us with this. And we can see 3 separate parts. We will right click extrude 2, click edit, and make it an add, and that will make this whole part one solid body. Now I'll come down here and click on assembly, and I'm going to click on insert. Then I'll click on Part Studio 1. Now you'll notice that when I move my mouse around, the part moves around with the mouse. But if I hover here to the left, the part snaps. It snaps to the origin. So I'm going to hit OK, and you're going to notice that our part has snapped fully to the origin. The origin is now in the center of the part. So I'm going to come over here to insert, and now I'm going to select copy 1, and it also snaps to the origin if I keep my cursor on the left side. But if I move it, you notice that now it's floating in space. So I'm going to place it about here. And what we want to do is hit OK. Now in sketches, we have constraints, but in assemblies, we have mates. And all of these mates here on the top left, you can see there are many different kinds we can choose from. And just like constraints in a sketch, they constrain parts instead of constraining lines and arcs and all that sort of stuff. So I'm going to click on Revolute Mate. I'm going to select this inner edge. And with this inner edge selected, I'm also going to select this edge of this part. And you're going to notice that the 2 parts snap to each other. I'm going to hit OK. And what we want to do from here is where it says part 1, we're going to click on it. we're going to right click and we're going to click on Fix. And that's going to make sure that this original part, that it's fixed to the origin. You could see the origin inside there. And now that that original part is fixed, we can click on this new one and just rotate. And as you could see, it's rotating in place. Now to make this a little bit easier, we're going to come here to our copy. We're going to right click on part 1 and hit Edit Appearance. And we're going to make it red, hit OK, and come back to the assembly. I'm going to come to Insert, and I'm going to click on Part Studio 1 and drag it in and hit OK. And again, I'm going to select Revolute Mate, click on this edge, click on this edge, and connect them, and hit OK. And I can keep doing this. I will insert more of these parts, and I can just add as many as I want. You'll notice here at the end that these two links are not connected. And since they're not connected between this cylinder and this cylinder, I can move this one freely. And it's not in line with this one. Well, how would we fix this? There's nothing to actually connect these two holes to each other, but we can connect them. We can connect them invisibly with mates. So I'm going to click on the slider mate, and if I click on these cylinders, you're going to notice that they're now in line with each other. So I'm going to hit OK, and now they rotate only together. So that's how we can connect them. In the end, we have an assembly that looks something like this. We're going to come to Insert, and we're going to add one more link and hit OK. And now I'm going to come to Planar and click on this face here. And then I'll select this face of the part and hit OK. You'll notice that now I can move this face against this face. And you can see that they're planar because they're sliding against each other, like two tabletops against each other. I'm going to come and add another link. But this time, what I want to do is come to Cylindrical Mate, and I'm going to select this circle here, and then I'll select this circle here, and I'm going to hit OK. And you'll notice that this not only rotates the way our original Revolute mates did, but it can also translate. It can move left and right. So this is a less strict version of all the mates we used to make this. The same way that we had made that planar mate, we're going to make a parallel mate. Now the difference is, with that planar mate, those parts are sliding against each other. Remember how I said two tabletops? But with the parallel mate, if I click on these surfaces and hit OK, it keeps these two parts parallel, but they can still move. So these two faces, they are parallel to each other, but they are not planar to each other as before. So you can see what that kind of looks like. As I'm moving and changing the angle of this face, it is also changing the angle of this face. So again, that's what that looks like. You'll notice that things get a little bit wonky when we try moving the assembly around with the mouse. So instead of using the mouse, what we're going to do is we're going to animate this link here. And we're going to do that by coming here to Revolute 1, right-click, click on Animate, and that's going to bring up this window. And for the start value, we're going to make it 2.7 radians. And for the end value, we're going to make it -2.7 radians. You can put in DEG for degrees if you'd like for these two values as well. For the amount of steps, it's the amount of steps over that movement. If you set a high number, it means that you want a high resolution movement, which is going to be laggy. If you set it too low, it's going to be very coarse. So we're going to make this 100 steps. And you're going to see now that it only moves over that interval. I like the way that this assembly is right now. So I'm going to come over here to the top left and click on Create Version. And this is going to be V1. So I'm going to call this version Chain Complete. And I'm going to hit Create. When you create a version, it versions everything. It versions, even the versions of the parts are saved in that version. If I were to come to that link and add a hole in that link and go back to my assembly, if I come here and make a new version, that new version has V2 of this part, because V2 of this part has a hole. V1 was without the hole. So let me come here to our versions in history, and I'm going to go from V2 to V1, and you're going to see that the hole disappears. And if I'm more satisfied with this version, I can click on Branch to create a workspace from version 1, and make it B1. And now we have branched off from version 1, and we can continue working and completely ignore version 2. So that's very helpful if you've done something in your design that you consider to be a mistake and you want to go back in time and continue from back in time. Now, in order to better organize all of these parts in the assembly, I can group them into folders. If I select them here, I can select, for instance, only the blue pieces. And once I have them all selected, I can right-click and come to Add Selection to Folder and make it called New and hit OK. And now I've organized all of these parts into one folder, which is very useful for very large assemblies. In order to better see how this assembly is constructed, we can come over here to Exploded Views and add Exploded View. And now I can simply click on the parts and drag them into position, hitting OK. And I can also choose to make it a rotation, so I can rotate the part if I'd like to, and also move it to wherever I want it to be, and hit OK. Now we can right-click and collapse the exploded view, right-click and activate that exploded view. Now we're going to come here, right-click on the assembly, and we're going to click on Create Drawing of Assembly 1. And we're going to leave the default template for the document. And we're going to choose to click on 4 views and hit OK. And now it's going to generate a drawing with 4 views of the assembly. In the next tutorial, we'll be going over more about how to create drawings in Onshape. Thanks for watching.